Hello around the world, this is Clyde James McNeil welcoming you to the Cathedral of Speed, Monza, for round one of EuroV8. Well, it's been a long winter break for the big V8s. The Superstars series came to an end at the end of 2013, but for the vast majority of teams, it's a time to look forward to the future and start building their prospects for the planned Grand Super Touring Series for 2015. And the best way to do that is to race. So the 2014 EuroV8 Series was born. The vast majority of the former Superstars teams are here, with more to join during the rest of the season. Carl Racing, Roma Racing and MRT are all on track. With the new addition, the European Touring Car Champions of 2009, 10 and 11, Hartmann Racing, have dipped a toe into the water. Owner Hans Hartmann Pedersen has bought Antonio Liuzzi's 2013 Mercedes C63 AMG and is racing it himself here today, alongside Giuseppe Cipriani, who's had a previous outing with other teams in Superstars. That's where we are, Monza, north of Italy. The weather is absolutely beautiful. We're looking at a temperature of about 24 degrees today. Very, very comfortable racing. But it's the driver lineup that's seen the biggest shake-up over the old Superstars series. Last year's champion, Gianni Morbidelli, has gone to World Touring Cars with the All-Inkle and Chevrolet Cruze car. Runner-up Giovanni Berton is in the Porsche Carrera Cup Italia. Third placed Antonio Liuzzi is competing in the Japanese Super GT for Autobax Racing. Fourth placed Tom Biaggi has gone to Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. And fifth from last year, Luigi Ferrara has joined the perennial bad boy Andrea Larini in the NASCAR Whelen European Series. That means new drivers. Here's one of them, Thomas Koska. He's taken over Gianni Morbidelli's old car, 29-year-old Czech driver who's come in here, and well, we're thinking that he's going to set the series alight. But have a look at that yellow car. And this is Gigi Ferrara's Mercedes C63 AMG from last year. Watch out for that. New drivers? Well, Audi Italia are fielding a 34-year-old Italian David Stankeris. And as I said, alongside him is the Czech rider Thomas Koska. BMW Dynamic has retained Max Mugelli alongside Mauro Trentin and Maurizio Capetti, and a fourth driver, Niccolo Mercatali. So BMW Dynamic in with a big chance here, 4 cars, but this is a very, very quick track. So think of anything with a big engine, big torque, big power, and you think Mercedes, they've ruled here in the past, we're intending to rule again today, but it is a 6-round championship. Monza does favour these big Mercedes. Let's see what's going to happen for the rest of the season though. I would say that this is going to be their race, but there's a lot to happen in this race. Carl Racing, they've got their Mercedes with Diego Romanini and Leonardo Baccarelli. Scuderia Giudici have 3 cars on the grid. The BMW team boss, Gianni Giudici, is still driving with youngster Gabriel Volpato and Jonathan Giacon. The Chevrolet Solaris team have Domenico Schiattarella back again and Francesco Cini. Schiattarella in the Chevrolet Lumina, Francesco Cini in the Camaro muscle car. MRT still have Battaglin and that 300C Chrysler, which is... It's still racing, I can't believe it. It's still creating huge noise and interest in the paddock. Brilliant car, but really does need development to be competitive in this. But they're on the grid. But the Lexus is also being fielded by MRT with former Formula 1 driver Giovanni Lavaggi. A lot of work to do on that car. It's an absolutely brilliant engine, but it is slightly fragile if you over rev it. Engineered to perfection, but with a lead foot it can explode, as we saw at Donington when he dumped oil all over the track and took out the first 4 front runners. Let's hope it's not going to happen here. But Giovanni Lavaggi, 56-year-old, I think, 56, 57, around about that, and former Formula 1 racer, and Roma Racing. Here's the Chrysler 300C with Battaglin at the wheel. Roma Racing, well, Nicola Baldan will be partnering the youngster who's replaced Gigi Ferrara. And who is it? Moving over from FIA Formula 3, Eddie Cheever III. Now there's a name to reckon with. He's lit a fire under the rest of the teams in practice and qualifying. And we'll go into practice and qualifying in just a little while. There was a little outstanding technical infringement from last year, which has now been sorted out. There was a court decision which excluded both Romeo Ferrari's cars from the 2013 Donington Superstars round. After the penalty, the team title has now gone to Audi. Well, Gianni Morbidelli won the driver's title last year. The team title was being held by Romeo Ferraris and Mercedes, but they've lost that title now because the Court of Appeal delivered a decision excluding both of the Mercedes driven by the Romeo Ferraris team driven by Tom Biaggi and Vitantonio Liuzzi from both Donington Park races. An irregularity to the undertray of both cars have been observed and pointed out by Audi. A complaint was lodged, and they hadn't lost their points because the appeal hadn't been heard before the end of the season. But over the end of the season, well, they have lost their points, so they've lost the team title as well. Giovanni Lavaggi in the Lexus ISF. Now, in the past, this car hasn't really survived the first 2 or 3 laps of a race. This time, though, there's been a lot of hope in this, but they've had their problems in qualifying as well. Giovanni Lavaggi went out, and I was watching him coming down the straight here at Monza, and he was lifting. Every time he got up to a certain speed, he was lifting the throttle, then getting back on the throttle again. I went back and said, "Have you got a problem with the transmission?" He said, "No, the car was too low. The tyres were rubbing on the bodywork, and I didn't want to cut them up, so they've had to raise the bodywork of that." This is Thomas Koska in Gianni Morbidelli's old car. And Koska has been very, very quick in qualifying. In fact, he qualified the same position as Gianni Morbidelli, last year's champion, did in the last race at Monza, in 4th place, but a little bit closer, in fact, to the front. Monza last year, race 1, won by Vitantonio Liuzzi and Tom Biaggi in 2nd place, both the Mercedes Romeo Ferraris cars. The Romeo Ferraris cars have now been taken over by Hartmann Racing. Hans Hartmann has bought one of the cars, which he'll be taking to Denmark, but this is a toe in the water for Hartmann Racing. They are the European Touring Car Champions of 2009, 10 and 11, and Hans Hartmann Pedersen is here driving one of the cars. Don't expect him to do very well. He'll be at the back and he'll be saving his car because he's just bought it. But he's having a look at this series in a big way, and hopefully something will happen with that in the future. So you'll still see the recognisable colours on some of them from Romeo Ferraris, but it's now Hartmann Racing. Gigi Ferrara was 3rd in race 1. In fact, the top 4 in race 1 and race 2 from Monza last year was Biaggi, Liuzzi, Ferrara and Morbidelli. And this time, well, let's have a look at qualifying. Free practice, Eddie Cheever went out with the former Gigi Ferrara Roma Racing Mercedes and set a very quick time, in fact over a second faster than anybody else in free practice. For the first time he's been in a car like this. A very, very serious young man, very dedicated. He's completely tuned in to the computers and the readouts and everything on the car. Very difficult to talk to him when he's in that kind of mode, but he's moved over from FIA Formula 3, so you'd expect that from him. Cini, though, in free practice, in the second free practice, went to the top of the timesheets, 56.0, so 1/10 of a second faster than Cheever, who matched his time in first free practice. Francesco Cini been altering that Chevy Camaro. It's still not up to spec. He's saving a lot of the special new parts for next season, but he's still getting quicker and quicker. But in qualifying, Eddie Cheever did it again, went out and did a 1:55.3 and then parked it. It was difficult for anybody else to come close to him. But his teammate did indeed. Nicola Baldan in the second Mercedes C63 from Roma Racing Team put in a 55.7, so 0.38 of a second behind his teammate Francesco Cini. Got faster, did his fastest lap in the final lap of qualifying, but couldn't match that time by about 1/10 of a second. 1:55.8 for Francesco Cini in the Solaris Motorsport Chevrolet Camaro. Behind him, Thomas Koska in the same place that Gianni Morbidelli was last year here at Monza in 4th place, 1:56.4, and consistently posting the fastest times through the speed trap. But the speed trap is set up where the motorbikes are, and the cars brake a lot later, so the Mercedes are quicker on top end, but getting up to that point, the Audi RS5s are doing very well indeed. Max Magelli in 5th place in qualifying, followed by Domenico Schiattarella in the Chevrolet Lumina. Then the start of the Hartmann Racing effort, Giuseppe Cipriani in 7th place. Maurizio Capetti is the first of the BMWs in 8th place, followed by Niccolo Mercatali. Leonardo Baccarelli, the Car Racing Mercedes, in 10th. David Stankeris, the second of the Audi RS5s, in 11th place. Diego Romagnini, the second of the Car Racing Mercedes, in 12th place. Jonathan Jacquard, the first of the Scuderia Giudici BMWs, one of the under-25 drivers. Gianni Giudici, the boss, in 14th place. Giovanni Lavaggi, the MRT Lexus, down in 15th place. He'll want to do a lot better than that, but saying that, he's 2 seconds down on the next fastest car, Gianni Giudici. Hans Hartmann behind him, the Hartmann Racing Mercedes C63 AMG. Alessandro Battaglin in the Chrysler 300C and the BMW 550i that Scuderia Giudici have put in, with Gabriele Volpato way down the order in a 2:04. So we're looking at a time of 1:55.332 for Eddie Cheever out in front, and he's got pole position in the bright yellow Mercedes C63 AMG. Behind him, his teammate, different colours, is Nicola Baldan. Row 2, Francesco Cini and Thomas Koska, both together on the grid. And Thomas Koska should get a great start, but I would expect Francesco Cini to be in front of him in the first corner. Then Max Mugelli and Domenico Schiattarella. Right behind him, the first of the Team Dynamic and the top driver for Team Dynamic, Max Mugelli, a lot happier this season, but he is the top driver in the series now. Then Hartmann Racing and Giuseppe Cipriani, Maurizio Capetti on row 4. And already that looks like Francesco Cini, who's pulled into pit lane, has a bit of a problem. So starting from pit lane will be Francesco Cini, if he is able to start, as the cars get their tyres warmed up, get the release compound taken off the tyres. It's 2 25-minute races today, 25 minutes plus 1 lap. Standard format for the big V8s. There's a series champion, the best under 25s champion trophy to fight for, best gentleman driver, of drivers over a certain age, best female driver as well, but no female drivers in the race today. And of course then there's the team prize to go for. All eyes though will be on the front at Eddie Cheever, the third. His dad does commentary now for NASCAR in the States. A bit of a big pack of bricks on his shoulder of trying to uphold family honour. He's the third in line in racing here. Granddad race, dad race, of course, very famous Eddie Cheever. And now it's Eddie Cheever the third. Let's see what he can do. And teammates, well, you've got to beat your teammate. And Nicola Baldan's alongside him, ready to go. There's the Thomas Koska weaving across and getting into line. And there'll be an empty space behind him. It's a rolling start for these cars. They won't park up and then all go. It's a rolling start after the pace car comes in. And there is Francesco Cini. Will be starting from pit lane, which is good news. He's under the red light, but he'll be joining the pack right at the back, and that's going to cost him dearly. Not something that he really wanted. The Lexus, I'm hoping to do well. Hans Hartmann Pedersen in one of the former Mario Ferrari's cars, the red and silver Mercedes, right next to the blue and white Lexus, and the Chrysler at the back. Volpato and one of the Scuderia Giudicis as they come down. The pace car is in. We're waiting for the fight down to the first corner to Rettifilio. Remember, hard braking, and these are big, heavy cars, massively powerful, huge torque. But then you stamp on the brakes and you go, the car is still going forward. See what Eddie Cheever can do. He'll be controlling the start of this, and he really is controlling it. A lot of people moving from side to side, trying to get space, need to keep in their own particular grid position. Eddie Cheever is, we're waiting for him. They've crossed the line. Eddie finally puts the hammer down, and Nicola Baldan goes with him. And I think that might be Max Mugelli, who's got a bit of a leap on Thomas Koska, and Domenico Scattarella is used to talk to get up into 4th place as well. So Max Mugelli, Chiva hits the brakes and smokes it going into Rettifilio. Still retains the lead though. Nicola Valdan behind him with Max Mugelli, then Domenico Scattarella, then Thomas Koska. And there's Francesco sitting right at the back of the pack. Giuseppe Cipriani in the blue and silver. Mercedes is up there as well, having a look at the inside of Thomas Koska, and maybe he's got it coming into a Loggia, but no, he loses it, goes straight on. So Cipriani's lost out big time, gets back on the track behind Thomas Koska. Koska in the Audi number 14, that is Cipriani. Eddie Chiva starting to make a break now. This is a replay of Cipriani going straight on. Doesn't lose a place though. Slots back in behind Thomas Koska. Big dust at the back. Somebody's gone way wide. Can't see who it is at the moment. Eddie Chiva has now broken away a little bit from his teammate Valdan. Max Mugelli, then Domenico Scattarella, then Thomas Koska. Bertali, Romani, Capetti's joined, but way back. There's Cipriani, 10th place now. So Cipriani lost a lot of time there. Probably it was him going off, trying much too hard. Thomas Koska now carrying the back of Scattarella. It was indeed Cipriani going well wide. So losing his place and having everybody go past him. Two BMWs down there with Lavaggi as Jacob and Giudici in 13th and 14th place. Eddie Chiva though, he's starting to put in sector times in, fastest in the 3rd sector on this. And now that's a turn up for the books. The Lexus being passed by Battaglin in the Chrysler 300C. Here's Hans Hartmann keeping the car safe behind number 64 Volpato. One of the Scuderia Giudici races, and look at the gap that Eddie Chiva's now pulled on his teammate. But his teammate Valdan is being carried hard, so hard that he had to cut the corner there. Max Mugelli right behind him, flashing his light, saying, yes, I'm right behind you, make another mistake like that and I'll be past you. But Domenico Scattarella is on his tail as well, and then Thomas Koska, who's gathered it all together. Remember, well no, I won't say remember because you probably won't know. It was mooted that the Audis would go to two-wheel, rear-wheel drive this season. The rules mean that that hasn't happened. They are still 4-wheel drive cars, but they are at the cathedral of speed. And it's the cars with big torque that should rule here. Max Mugelli is the one who's proving that rule completely wrong at the moment, because the rear-wheel drive BMW doing very well. That was Valdan trying to turn the corner a little bit too early. Max Mugelli under threat from Scattarella, keeps him on the outside. Not a problem there. And looking back, there was a little bit, looked like a little bit of contact back there. If we can have a look at that again. No, the logo comes over it. Second, one of the Carl Racing Mercedes back there. I think that was down the street Baccarelli, I think in 11th place. This is Eddie Chiva. 3 seconds now ahead of his teammate. Valdan in 2nd place, Scattarella in 3rd, Mugelli in 4th. So Scattarella's gone past Max Mugelli. Thomas Koska in 5th place still, then Cipriani in 6th place, Diego Romagnini in 7th, Mercatali in 8th, Davide Stankaris in 9th place, and Capetti in 10th. Francesco Senni moving his way up through the order into 11th place, and Baccarelli. Gianni Giudici, Lavaggi, the former Formula 1 car, but not doing quick lap times at all, unfortunately. Doing 2:03s, it's a second faster than he did in qualifying, but he's still at the back of the pack. Car needing a lot of work. Unfortunately, just trying to get the picture back. We've got at the moment That's Hartman Peterson down in 16th place at Volpato, and Jonathan Jacquard's pulled into the pit, so he's out of it. 17 cars now on track, and look at the gap that Eddie Cheever has pulled over Baldan. Nice for Domenico Scattarella, speaking to Francesco Cini and the Solaris team who've been working on both of these cars. He said, well, basically, we haven't done anything to the Lumina. It's got big power. There's not much more we can do to it because we're going to save all our energies to put two Camaros on track next year. The Lumina still has the pace, it still has the muscle. Remember, it's one of the original big 6-litre V8s from the States, and that car has got torque and to spare. And it's nice to see Francesco Cini still moving up, and now Lavaggi's got past Battaglin in the race between teammates in the MRT racing team, and there is Hartman Peterson taking it easy with the car he's just bought. He wants to take that to Denmark and racing in the Danish Touring Series, which is quite an open series. Number one, Thomas Kotzka, and Scattarella locks up a little bit. He's got some smoke coming out of there. Let's hope it's not more than tyre smoke. But no, the car does seem to be smoking a little bit. The Chevrolet Lumina. Scattarella in third place. It's dropped Max Mugelli. Gaps are opening up the front. Eddie Cheever crosses the line. 157s at the moment, so he's taking it fairly easy. But look at the amount of smoke on track. I think Scattarella and the Chevy Lumina is having major problems. Diego Romagnini and Cipriani fighting for position. Romagnini, number 54. Number 14 is Cipriani. So Cipriani was in front of him. Romagnini's gone past him. The Carl Racing Mercedes in front of Cipriani. So Carl Racing and the former Romeo Ferraris Mercedes together on track. It's still in a battle, and behind them, Davide Stankeris in his second of the four-wheel drive Audi RS5s. Not making an impression on this power track. Francesco Cini not hanging about though. Tries to do it under braking. Now Thomas Kotzka leads in Beausoleil, basically Monaco, and got a lot of experience in Formula Ford, Ford Puma Cup, Ford Puma Cup, Formula Renault 3.5. He hasn't got a lot of handling time in four-wheel drive Audi, so he's still learning on this. Race for the A1 Team Czech Republic at the A1 Grand Prix in Zandvoort, 24 hours of Le Mans. He's done that as well. Then in DTM. So Thomas has got a lot of experience to bring to this track, but it is a new car for him. He needs to settle in, and he's settling in against the one man, which is his real challenger, which is Max Mugelli. And we're still seeing smoke on the track, specifically under braking. Oh, look, a little bit of rubbing as Francesco Cini, he's gone past Copetti there. Looking at the front of Eddie Cheever's Mercedes C63, and he's got quite a bit of a gap on anybody behind him. He's got a lovely car, fastest lap as well, 155.64. And getting faster and faster. This is the car that Luigi Ferrara has developed over years. Luigi Ferrara produced, I would say, one of the best handling Mercedes that we've seen on track, and it's quick as well. Rover Racing do know how to make a fast car, and they're loud. Yes, tremendously loud. Scattarella, well, it doesn't seem to be an engine problem. Saying that, as soon as I said it, there's a puff of smoke out the back of that Chevrolet Lumina. And he's chasing down Nicola Baldan, and still staying with him, and the battle between Max Mugelli and Thomas Koska still going on. Quarter of an hour left, plus one lap in this race. Koska's doing what he really should do, and who's that? Gianni Gianducci's pulled over. We have seen this in the past though. Gianducci's falling off the track without obvious fault. Gianni Gianducci does love to race. He is also the team boss. Doesn't really stretch it that much on the track. His tendency to pull over with, in inverted commas, problem with the car. Oh, Koska's keeping Max Mugelli very, very on the ball here. Hasn't yet decided to see what that car can do under brakes. Oh, behind him! Oh no! Diego Romagnini's gone sideways. He's run the car around number 54, Diego Romagnini, trying to get it going again. Gets it started. A big spin, and I didn't see the reason for that. Let's see if we can get a replay. Got touched, did he? Yes, he got touched as he tried to cut across Cipriani, who went past him earlier. Cipriani tagged him on the back, underpowered. The car did a complete 360. So Cipriani at fault there, just trying to get into the corner as Romagnini goes past him and tagged the back end of Romagnini's Mercedes and spun it around. And still these fights going on as Eddie Chiba extends his lead to over 5 seconds in front now. Baldan and Scattarella locked together on track. Mugelli and Koska locked together. And Francesco Cini has been able to get past Davide Stancaris. Now he's moved himself up into 8th place. Remember, he started from pit lane. So over half the competitors taken. Lavangi has pulled in. Well, the Lexus ISF hasn't been able to complete a race yet, and it's been trying for 2 years to do that. Lavangi has had to pull in with that Lexus, and it's unfortunate. Baccarelli into 10th place now. Cini up to 6th place, in fact. He's in front of Stancaris in this because of that fight behind him with Cipriani and Romagnini, who've both pulled in. Cipriani and Romagnini both pulled in and parked it. So they're coming together and obviously done more damage than we thought at the time. Investigations going on between with that crash as well. A little flash has just come up on my monitor, which is out of focus, so we had to squint a little bit here, but beautiful sunshine at Monza for this race. But this is a big battle. Tom Koska really does want to get past Max Mugelli. 3 are ahead of him. Chiva way out in front by 5.5 seconds. Yellow flag waves for Gianni Gianducci's Scuderia Gianducci BMW parked at the side of the track. And Max Mugelli using all the track and more to keep Thomas Koska behind him. Thomas will one day discover that that car is immensely stable under braking. Max wants to keep him safe and keep him on the outside of the track. Thomas is going around the outside, but it is the long way round there. Through the parabolica and won't stay in front of him. Doesn't have the power to get past the BMW in a straight line, but look at this, Cini's coming, and he's broken away from Stancaris behind him. Trying to close the gap on Thomas Koska. Koska now knows that this is where he can do it, under braking into the Rettifilio. He's gone past. He's expecting that to come, but Thomas is racing to keep the car there and keep points going. If he can get past Max safely, he's found exactly the place to do it. Gone past now into 4th place. Max Mugelli down into 5th. The first of the BMWs around here, and Baccarelli I think has just come out onto the, no, that's Diego Romagnini who's just come back out onto the track. So one of the car racing machines back on track. Had a look to see if there was any damage to the back of that car. Eddie Chiva, meanwhile, way out in front. Taking it easy, he's built his gap. Now over 7 seconds in the lead. is really playing to all the strengths. Eddie Cheever's got the right car, the right track. And that was a little bit of a pass there. Cipriani a little bit wide, then cutting back in after letting Diego Romanini go past. And Romanini getting touched by Cipriani as it came out of the corner under power. Spun the car 360 degrees. Thomas Cosca now opening up the gap over Max Mugelli. Francesco Cini starting to try to close that gap with the long straights here in the Camaro. It's quite possible he can do it. He's got less than 10 minutes to do it though. Behind him, Stankeris holding off Copetti and Mercatali. Number 19, Copetti. Maurizio Copetti down in 8th place. And that is the gap. And look at this, Domenico Scatarella still smoking. And smoke still coming out of the back of that car, but it's still working. Hasn't pulled off yet, hasn't been flagged for putting any oil onto the track, so at the moment it's just smoke. The Chevrolet Lumina engine, how it's holding together in these conditions, I do not know, but under braking, some oil finding its way into the exhaust, I think, from there. Definitely under braking. Huge roar of these cars, especially their own racing teams, Mercedes, as they come through. All the power now. Up into Ascari, and there's Lavaggi, as we said. Giovanni Lavaggi pulled in quite a while ago, actually, with the Lexus. No idea what's happening. Can't see any smoke from that. Eddie Cheever, well, this is almost a parade for Eddie. In the right car, on the right track. And Scatarella's fight with Baldan now, I would say, is over. And just remains to see if Thomas Cosca can catch him with the car. He's tried everything he can to stay with Baldan. Mercedes. Well, the Chevy Lumina is not having any of it. That's close up and slow-mo of Eddie Cheever out in the lead by over 7 seconds. And there's Thomas Cosca. Took his time, passing Max Mugelli, but he's done it and he's safe. Never expected to win here. This is very much a power circuit. Mercedes have got power and torque to spare around here. The only time that... now that is a huge surprise. Thomas Cosca now in the fastest lap, 155.9, that is the fastest lap of the race. But of course, Eddie Cheever faster in qualifying. He's now trying to pull a gap on Francesco Cini, who's behind him. I think Francesco Cini, no, sorry, Max Mugelli, and then Francesco Cini. So he's pulling away, hand over fist on Max Mugelli now. Starting to gel with this car in race conditions, and I would expect him to be faster in race 2. There's Francesco Cini trying to close down on Max Mugelli, but Thomas Cosca's going even faster. Cheever doesn't need to put in fast laps at the moment, just needs to manage his gap as he comes under Ascari. Over the bridge at Ascari. Through the turns. Heads down to the curve of Parabolica. 5 minutes and 52 seconds left to go. And Domenico Scatarella is hoping that that Chevy Lumina holds together. Little bits of smoke still coming out of the back of it. So far the engine is still delivering him some power. Thomas Cosca has probably seen that and thought, oh, maybe I can close him down. It is now Thomas Cosca within sight of Domenico Scatarella. And he'll be aiming for a podium position if he can get it. Eddie Cheever, look at the gap now between teammates first and second, Cheever and Baldan. And there is Domenico Scatarella, not too far away. And that is Thomas Cosca just coming into the picture. He can see Scatarella in front of him, knows he's smoking. And probably that's the reason why he's been able to put the hammer down and say, I've got a chance here of getting on the podium. 5 minutes to do it though. What you need to do is fill Scatarella Scattarella's mirrors. Danny is now starting to look over his shoulder. There's somebody chasing him. And there is the smoke again. Not tyre smoke, that's engine smoke from Domenico Scattarella. Max Mugelli hasn't given up though. Neither has Capetti, number 19. He's still chasing Stankeris in front of him. Dominic Stankeris, new in the Audi Sport Italia RS5. Davide's got a great little business as well. He makes classic motorcycle helmets, and some of the designs I've seen, well, I'll get one of them myself. Girlfriend, one of the mechanics in the MRT team on pit lane at the moment. There's Thomas Koska. Close up on the back of Scattarella's machine. Going round the corner, smoke coming out of the exhaust pipe. What is that? I don't have a technical expert to tell you here, so I haven't got a clue at the moment. It's certainly happening in the corners and under braking. Nice to see Battaglin and the Chrysler 300C. Battaglin, well, way down the order in 11th place, staying down in front of Hans Hartmann Pedersen in the second of the former Romeo Ferraris Mercedes, who is in 12th place. We've still got 12 cars on track. We've lost Romanini and Cipriani, Gianni Gianducci pulled over, Lavaggi with the Lexus is out of the race, Volpato. The other Scuderia, Giannici, BMWs and Jonathan Chacon out as well. They've parked up. And this is Hans Hartmann Pedersen. And Diego Romanini, as I say, he's pulled out. He's been the latest to pull out of the race in one of the car racing Mercedes. But meanwhile, Eddie Chiva, nothing to threaten him at the moment. Pulled out the lead, maintaining the lead. 2.5 minutes left to race. Just over, plus one more lap, keeps the car safe, will score his first win in EuroV8. Danny will be pleased. Still got a nice gap over the rest of the field, maintaining that gap. Nicola Baldan not even in the picture. As he goes through the Seraglio. Baldan just exits Lesmo 2 under the bridge and into Ascari. Keeping pinpoint accuracy, former Gigi Ferrara's car. There's Baldan just coming into the picture. And Domenico Scattarella still using a little bit more road, but Thomas Koska is definitely closer. And he's got 1 and 3/4 minutes plus one more lap to do it. And look at Cini. Cini now right on the tail of Max Mugelli. That will be a scout to take out the top BMW here. And definitely he's got the power to do it. That Chevrolet Camaro from the back of the grid, started from pit lane, I will remind you. Coming into Parabolica, not going to pass Parabolica, but if you're close enough on this straight, you've got torque and power to spare in that Camaro to stay in the slipstream and have a look. Maybe this one for the braking area. Max Mugelli making it difficult for him, pulling to the outside. Well, Cini's not going to be able to pass on the outside of a BMW, or is he? Well, with Max Mugelli locking up his brakes and lifting off into the Rettifilio, that put Cini past him. Now that was something that I never even expected. Around the outside into Rettifilio and passing the BMW. Watch this, have a look at the BMW as he hits the brakes. Cini is there, too much brakes, there was just a little bit of dust and a little bit of smoke from Max Mugelli's brakes. Lifted up, oh, boot full of power goes Francesco Cini. Puts the Camaro a little bit sideways. Here's Domenico Scattarella, same team, different car. Chevrolet Lumina in 3rd place, and still smoke coming out of that exhaust system. And still maintaining 3rd place. Eddie Chiva way out in front. Let's have a look at the gap. The gap at the moment, 6.5 seconds. He's eased off, doesn't matter. He'll be on the final lap. I think he crossed the line before the clock wound down, so as he crosses the line, this probably is the penultimate lap. One more lap after this. And EuroV8 Racing run now by Nico Calderola. Nico, former racer for this team, now manages the team. Very, very famous Nico, who took out Johan Kristoffersson at Pagusa 2 years ago on the final round when Christensen was leading the championship. And basically second corner on the first lap took the championship leader out, which gave Antonio Liuzzi almost a bye to win the championship in the final race of the season. And then Liuzzi himself was taken out by his nemesis Andrea Lorini. Kristoffersson with 4 points ahead of Liuzzi managed to take that championship, even not finishing the first lap of the last race of the season. And that was Nico Calderola, probably said to himself, right, let's just manage the team now and manage the team. He's done very well indeed. Eddie Cheever on his final lap, first time out with the EuroV8 Racing Team Mercedes. Beautiful car. He's got a lot to thank Gigi Ferrara for this car that he's racing. It's coming up almost to lap. Hans Hartmann Pedersen in the car that Liuzzi was driving last year. Hans Hartmann will be moving over. He's already moved over to let Eddie Cheever through. Eddie Cheever comes through. No, Hartmann's still in front of him. Thought there was a car behind him. Probably just saw that out the corner of the eye. It was probably the stopped BMW Gianni Giudici. Eddie Cheever, this is almost a parade lap for him. Baldan still behind him, Schiaparelli still behind him. And Koska a little bit too far back to do anything about it. Coming across the line for the first race of the season and the first win for new boy Eddie Cheever III. And EuroV8 Racing score a 1-2 here at Monza for the first round of EuroV8 in 2014. Domenico Schiaparelli and the engine keeps together for third place. Thomas Koska across the line for fourth. And Francesco Cini from pit lane passes everybody, including the best of Team Dynamic BMW, Max Mugelli, and takes fifth place away from him. Max Mugelli in sixth, and David Stankiewicz manages to hold on to seventh place in front of Capetti. And with 2/3 of the race run, with smoke coming out of the back of the Chevrolet Lumina, it is still going. I can't believe it. And Domenico Schiaparelli gets third place. But Eddie Cheever, fantastic win, but a perfect place to do it as well, in one of the fastest Mercedes available on the track, and a track ideally suited to it. And of course he'll be on the phone to Dad saying, yeah, I took the Mercedes out, first race of the season, first time in it, took pole position and the race. And Eddie Cheever will be wanting to do that again for race 2. Replays him crossing the line. And teammate Nicola Baldan within sight of him at the finish. And Koska right on the back of Domenico Schiaparelli. Schiaparelli still holding him off through the final parabolica with the power of the Chevrolet Lumina. Just goes to show the power really counts here at the Cathedral of Speed at Monza. And that has been a very, very good race. Ideal for Eddie Cheever III. Teammates circulate together on the cooling down lap. Francesco Cini will be well pleased with the performance of the Solaris team this year. So far, started from pit lane. What would have happened if he'd started on the second row of the grid behind Eddie Cheever? Well, we'll probably find out in race 2. Through the entire field and coming up to fifth place. third in qualifying, and up to speed with Nicola Baldan in qualifying. Having to start from pit row wasn't what Francesco Cini wanted. Would have liked to have taken the fight directly to the Roma Racing team. Solaris have put in, I mean, it's for years now I've been watching the team on and off season, the amount of work that they put into those cars, and still they've got a lot more to spare, because some of the parts I do know that they're saving, they're not going to use this year, they're saving them for next year when Super Touring really comes on. This is EuroV8 is where a lot of work will be done for next season. You really don't waste it when you want to come into the really big and make a huge impression next year, and the teams that hold themselves together keep all this experience from racing coming into Super Touring. Having a look back at Capetti and his problems. Oh, a lovely big sideways moment for Mercatali in one of the Team Dynamic BMWs. Baccarelli is Carl Racing, Mercedes, and Gianni Giudici always seems to start the race and always seems to have a technical problem halfway through. Now, Gianni is the boss of the team, so he's allowed to do that. Pulls over, does enjoy his racing, but he's in some serious company here and really should go back and start doing the paperwork. Domenico Scatarella, who knows, I'm going to go down and find out what was wrong with this car, because it was smoking nearly all the way through that race and still had the power. Eddie Cheever gets out of the car and the official photographer gets him as well. Very serious young man.
Dietro signori, per cortesia.
Born in Rome, actually, Eddie Cheever. Well, his dad was born in Rome as well, so I don't know what they're doing here. Yeah, so the crowd treated to a really fine first race of the season, but it really did go as expected. Eddie Cheever, with the times that he was able to put up in qualifying in a car which has been, I would say, beautifully prepared and beautifully tested by Gigi Ferrara, who produced a very, very sweet handling car. The team themselves produced, Roma Racing produced some real powerful motors as well, and Nicola Baldan getting his congratulations as well. Teammate to Eddie Cheever. And there's Domenico Scatarella. Podium place for Domenico. The team will now have to have a look at what's happened with the Chevrolet Lumina. Domenico there with his family. Thomas Cosco's brought his family down as well. So official results: Eddie Cheever in first place, then Baldan, then Domenico Scatarella, Tom Cosco, Francesco Cini, Max Magelli, Davide Stankeris, Capetti, Mercatali and Baccarelli. The top 10 in the race. 2 more left to go. Vitaglin and Hartmann did manage to finish this race as well, but we lost Romagnini, Cipriani, Gianni Giudici, Lavaggi, Volpato and Jonathan Jacon. So quite a few cars not managing to finish the first part of the race, and it wasn't all down to there's the rest. As you see, Romagnini still classified there as 5 laps, but wasn't able to cross the finish line. And Hans Hartmann Pedersen, with the car he's just bought, he wants to take that off to Denmark, a race in the, it's a very, very open class of touring racing in Denmark, wants to take that with him. But he's dipped his toe in the water now in EuroV8s and Superstars. And remember, this team, everything they've got into, they've won. And they've won big style as well. European Touring Car Champions 2009, 10 and 11. And I wouldn't be surprised that Hartmann Racing will start to say, indeed, let's have a look at EuroV8s and Super Touring as well, and maybe we can do something there. Hans Hartmann Pedersen, very approachable gentleman, really knows his stuff as well, and has his own stable of engineers. One in particular is an Italian whose name escapes me at the moment. But really impressed with him. This was having a look from the start of the series, and unfortunately Francesco Cini pushed into pit lane, had to start from pit lane. Eddie Cheever on pole position, Nicola Baldan in second place, and the teammates 1 and 2 with no Francesco Cini behind him. Cini can start from the back and fight his way through the pack. Nicola Baldan having his issues first of all, but Domenico Schiattarella, the Chevrolet Lumina looming large in his mirrors. Eddie Cheever though started the way he wanted to finish, putting in fast lap after fast lap and building a gap. Danny Giudici unfortunately pulling over. And Cipriani and having a coming together with Romagnini, and both of them pulling into the pits after this, all the way through the race. Domenico Schiattarella in third place, and the Chevrolet Lumina smoking badly. Lavaggi having to pull in with the Lexus. All the time we saw smoke on the track. Thomas Koska, Davide Stankeris in their Audis, but Nicola Baldan doing what teammates do, keeping Eddie Cheever safe and secure, holding off Domenico Schiattarella and then pulling away from him. But meanwhile, all the while, Francesco Cini pulling through the back and finally passing Max Mugelli with the BMW to take 5th place away from him. And how it happened, I don't know. Domenico Schiattarella's Chevrolet Lumina lasting the entire race, but smoking all the time as well. So first race off, Eddie Cheever, an emphatic victory for Roma Racing with 1 and 2, with Baldini in second, Nicola Baldan in second place, and Domenico Schiattarella getting onto the podium as well. The one thing I want to do is run down to Team Solaris and find out if that car is going to survive to race in race 2. Doesn't matter if it was smoking, it was still developing its power, still able to hold off Thomas Koska, who passed Max Mugelli and then put in the fastest lap of the race to get up into 4th place. So Domenico Schiattarella first up on the podium. And Nicola Baldan, the first of both the Team Roma Racing, to get up there. Francesco Cini applauds while he's holding his helmet. And the young Eddie Cheever steps onto the podium for the first time in EuroV8. I doubt very much if it's going to be the last time Roma Racing have put together an ideal package for him, and he'll want both the top placing qualifying and both race wins. And Eddie Cheever was up against some varsity as well. I mean, Baldan back from 2013 saw him triumph in the mini challenge in Italy, so he's a very quick driver as well. And Eddie Cheever, well, started karting, born in Rome, started karting in 2006. Graduated to Formula Renault single-seaters in 2009 with Jensen Motorsports, Formula Bath in 2010, 2011, Lucchini Motors in the Italian Formula 3 Championship. There's some good podiums there as well. Finished runner-up to Riccardo Agostini in both the European and Italian Championship formats. November 2012, he tested the Scuderia Ferrari Formula 1 car in Vallelunga. Basically saying thank you for his performance in Formula 3. So he's actually even been in a Formula 1 car at this young age. Maurizio Flamini hands him his trophy. And stayed with the Prima Power team in European Formula 3 Championship last year. Has moved over to EuroV8. And Nico Calderola gets the team prize as well. Nico Calderola gets up and joins his his team up there. And Baccarelli gets his prize because he's won the Gentleman's Driver Trophy.
Trofeo Under 25 sempre per Eddie Schipper, un altro trofeo, attenzione ragazzi ancora un secondo perché arriva il trofeo per l'Under 25, sempre di Eddie Schipper.
And there's another trophy for Eddie Cheever as the Young Driver Trophy winner, presented by Maurizio Flamini. I don't know what Domenico was going to do there. He was aiming for Maurizio, but doesn't do it that time. But Eddie Cheever gets chased around by his teammate, Baldan. And this was Scattarella's Chevrolet Lumina. Nicola Baldan. And the immensely powerful, and I will say extremely loud, Rover Racing Mercedes. This is not a series like Formula One where you can talk in normal tones. Finish?